Hey YouTube, today I am going to show you how to make Pico De Gallo. Everybody makes Pico De Gallo different ways. Today I'm going to show you how to make it my way. So we're going to go through the ingredients to let you know what you are going to need for us to get this prepared for great days like Super Bowl, party, or if you need to take a dish to the party that you're fixing to attend. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started on our Pico De Gallo. Alright everyone, so for today, for our Pico de Gallo, we are definitely going to need our garbage bowl, only because we have a lot of cutting to do, and we are going to need to put it to the side so that it's not in our way. So we have our garbage bowl here that is in the side of our sink. We have another small bowl here that comes with a lid, this one, so that way we can go ahead and cover everything up while we let it chill in the fridge. What you are going to need today is cilantro. Again, remember, if there are some things here that you do not use or you cannot eat, then I would suggest for you not to do that. See, I have a little stain here from making lemonade. So if you can't use it, then don't use it. But you will need cilantro. You will also need, I would say, 1 jalapeno. And then you will also need tomatoes, lime, and avocados. So we've already got all of this together here ready for the cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut some of the cilantro here. You can cut whatever part you want. If you want to use the back part, if you want to use this. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut half of this, only because I don't want all of it in my pico de gallo. But I am going to use some. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and chop this up to little pieces. Again, when you are dipping your chips in the pico de gallo, you don't want to grab a big old piece of the cilantro. You just want it to give it some flavor and have just little pieces in it. So as you're cutting it into little pieces, please be careful that you do not cut yourself. I've always learned, well, also seen that Rachel Ray tends to use her finger, and when she's cutting, she dumps it in, so that way if she happens to cut anything, she won't cut it and she'll just hit her knuckles. So that is another good tip to use while you're cutting something or trying to cut something into small pieces. Okay, so again, we are cutting our cilantro here. You can cut and put as much of cilantro that you want in your pico de gallo. Everybody is different. I love it because it brings color to it. Not only with that, but with the aguacate and the jalapeno, you have different mixtures of colors in it. Okay. So while we cut this, while we're done, we're going to go ahead and put this in the bowl. So this is your cilantro. Now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to use the jalapeno at the end, because once we cut it and we open it and it has the seeds, I don't want it all on my cutting board because I still have to cut everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of my tomatoes and cut off the end. Then I'm going to go ahead and just cut in between in the middle. And just go ahead and cut. Now, the way that I am cutting it, you are going to have big pieces, so it's always good to go back and just cut in the middle. So you see how I have this here? I'm going to go ahead and just cut again. And if you're able to, cut one more. If not, you can just leave it that way. You can also use, I've noticed they do have those little choppers where you can put everything maybe in a little kind of like a Tupperware type, and you push it down and it chops everything up. That's easy too, but I always feel you doing it the way that you're supposed to do it. You put more of your hands in it and your touch, and that's what makes your meal better, to me at least. So we're going to go ahead and put the tomatoes. Now when you start off, you want to make sure that you use just basically 1 and 1 Not everything, because you want to see how it's going to look at the end. And if at the end you feel that it needs more of something, or you don't want to feel like you put too much and then have to take anything out and throw it away. So you just want to do one and one, and once everything is almost done, for example, this one will be done once I put the lime in there. But before I put the lime, I will look at it to make sure that there's nothing that I'm missing, or maybe if I need a little bit more tomatoes or cilantro in my Pico de Gallo. So you can always leave that for the end. And it all just depends on how you're going to use it. For example, we're going to use this today to eat with chips. So probably will need a little bit more, but I'm not going to check that out until the ending. So we've already cut the tomatoes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. So you see here, we have the tomatoes and the cilantro. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to maybe cut one more tomato. And the cilantro that I threw in here, I'm going to go ahead and use it as well. So I'm going to cut this up and we're going to put it in the bowl. Alright, so I went ahead and cut some more. We went ahead and added in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the pepper. And I'm just going to chop it from the back just to open it up and let let it breathe a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the avocados. We're going to go ahead and cut the avocados here. Again, you can use as many avocados if you like. If you don't like avocados and you don't want to use avocados, that's perfectly fine. No problem with that. Okay, so I took out the little ball that was in the middle. And you just want to be careful when you cut the avocados, because sometimes they have little parts inside of it, like, well, not little parts, but like little pieces that you don't want in your Pico de Gallo. So when you cut it, just make sure that you're missing out on that part. So we have the avocate here. Now, one thing when you cut avocate for Pico de Gallo is that you don't want to make it smushy, because you want it to be in little pieces so that when you put it in the Pico de Gallo and you are dipping it with the chip, you'll have pieces to grab. Okay, so see how that's not really smushed up? Now we're going to go ahead and just add that into the pico. And you can also just kind of grab it and just kind of break the pieces open so that it can, see? Now we're going to go ahead and cut the rest of the avocados, and then we'll add everything else to it. Alright guys, so far it looks like this. You have the avocado, the tomato, and the cilantro. I'm going to go ahead and cut one more avocado because I don't want to put all of them in there. So I'm going to cut one more, put this in there. And I want to say maybe it's still missing one more tomato, so we might put another tomato in there. So cut this open. These were actually on sale today because of Super Bowl. They were actually 3 for $1. The lady that was in the produce section did tell me that they actually special ordered these for the Super Bowl, which is pretty cool. And they had them on sale. Okay, I know this one I didn't cut it so well, but it's because of the way that it was already kind of, smushy. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this in there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and just cut one more tomato, and then we'll be good to go ahead and put everything else in here. Alright, so we went ahead and cut up the other tomato. I'm just going to put it in here with the other stuff. Okay, so now we have the jalapeno pepper here. I really don't want this hot, just a little, not too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut half of this, and I'm going to go ahead and take most of the seeds out, or basically all of the seeds in this one. So you see all of that? That right there, guys and ladies, gentlemen, this is all hot. Hot, 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 hot. So I kid you not, if you put this whole thing in there like this, yes, it will be really, really hot. This is why I say it's always best to leave this for the last. Well, besides your limes. Because that way you don't have all of that spiciness in there. So you're going to go ahead and just chop these up. These you do want to chop up very small because you don't want to have big chunks of pieces whenever somebody's grabbing for and eating it, because then more than likely they're going to think, oh man, this is going to be spicy, and not want any. So you just kind of want to just sneak them in there. But please make sure to let everybody know that they do have peppers, because some people just cannot handle any type of peppers, and some people do not like to eat peppers. So I'm going to put this. Don't forget to subscribe, everyone. If you have any meals that you've never cooked, you don't know how to cook, or maybe you want to see what it looks like first, please reach out to me. Leave me a comment and I will get back with you. So here we have now are the pieces of the jalapenos. I'm actually only going to just do this half here. I don't want to put so much, only because it's a Sunday. Everybody has to go to work on Monday, and I don't want anybody waking up with any heartburn or any of that. So we're just going to just use this one. And the other one we can use later on for something else. Okay. So we have that there. And we'll just put everything else that's here in the bowl. We're going to put this to the side. So let me wash my hands. I don't want any of that pepper on me. Okay. So now you have your Pico De Gallo, and it looks like this. You can get a spoon and kind of mix it together. And as you can see, you have your tomatoes. The only thing is when you mix this, just do it from the bottom and just mix it. Don't mix it from the middle. Don't smush on it, because then you're going to smush all of those nice pieces of avocados that we have there. Okay, so we do have a lemon, the limes. I'm going to go ahead and push them against the counter just to kind of get some juice out of them. Again, because I don't want everybody to have heartburns, we're going to cut 2 of these. Now, once you cut them, you just want to go ahead and put them over. And put them in your Pico De Gallo. If you don't like lemon or limes, don't put this in there, guys. Ugh, wish I'd have my lemon squeezer. Okay, so I'm going to do this last one. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this in 4 so that it's easier for me to get the juices out.